In the town of Arbuckle, they pay tribute in blue. A reminder of who they lost 1 year ago. Natalie Corona was described as everyone's best friend.
She loved getting people gifts. I mean, we used to tease her because she was like a little mother hen.
At 22 years old, she got her dream job at the Davis Police Department. A job her family said she started training for at 6 years old.
We have pictures of her wearing, Dad's, sheriff's cap, and she'd put on his shirt. And at a very young age, she started learning all the codes and all the alphabet.
On January 10, 2019, Natalie was just a few weeks into her job at the department.
We were at a basketball game for Kathy, our third oldest. And my daughter Jackie was sitting in front of us. I'm so grateful that all of us were together that night. She started getting a message because she has friends who attend the University of Davis, and she was getting reports that a female officer was shot.
Natalie went out to investigate a car accident when a man came up and started shooting.
I got the news by the time we had walked out of the gym, so by the time he and Kathy come out, I told him, I said, we need to go. She didn't make it. They let us see her, 7 hours after? And that probably was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, was to walk into this room and they walk you in and there's, I believe it's a yellow tape on the floor. And they said, you can line up on that tape, but don't go past it. And Natalie was maybe 5 feet away in a bed, in a hospital bed, covered to her neck.
Today, many of the ribbons are still up, now faded and worn. But some things still remain untouched.
Nobody's gone in here but you guys, so.
Her watch is still, her Apple Watch is still there, her cross is still there, her half-eaten pretzel treats are still there. There's days where we can't get out of bed and or you're fine and then either a song or a picture just triggers you and you're done. I can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't function. But as a mom, it's watching my other 3 kids miss their sister.
There are days when grief plays with her mind.
But I wanted to hear her voice, so next thing I know is I'm calling that number. And I'm letting it ring, and I'm like, oh, good, she's gonna answer. And your mind knows that she's gone. And I'm waiting for her voicemail to answer, so at least I can hear her voice, and it didn't. Set the phone down, and I'm washing my face, and the phone rings. And I look over, and it says, Natalie Corona. I was like, she's calling me. Well, I feel so bad for the young boy. I answered, I'm like, hello, and I'm a mess. And the boy's like, this young man, he's like, hi, did you call my number? And I said, I am so sorry. I said, this was my daughter's number. I said, and she passed away a few months ago.
At the Davis Police Department, they honor one of their own.
You can't prepare. You can't prepare for the loss of a fellow officer. Natalie was our sister, and you can never prepare for the loss of a family member, no matter how much you know that's a reality.
They described Natalie as a rising star.
Yes, she was a diligent note taker. She wanted to remember people in the community, whether it was meeting a homeless person on the street. She wanted to remember them. She wanted to remember their names so that the next time she saw them, she could call them by their name.
You won't see them showing their pain or grief, but it's visible behind closed doors. Natalie's name is still listed on her lockers. Her car door is now in one of the offices, and this display has a daily log with her last shift.
It has been a very unique time for the agency because losing an officer is hard, period, but losing an officer in an agency of this size is where everybody knew her, has been incredibly difficult.
The Davis Police Department said Natalie's case is closed since there's no trial. The suspect in the case died by suicide the night Natalie was killed.
He did leave a note. The note suggested that he suspected this city of Davis as a government was beaming some type of microwaves into his head, and that caused him to act this way.
Because of the circumstances, Davis police say they haven't made any changes after her death.
We've always kept officer safety at a high mark, and as officers, we always know that something like that could happen. I think this was just so random and so irrational and so unexpected.
Nothing really prepares you emotionally, even for the strangers who grieve her.
Once a day, at least, a citizen would walk up to me, whether I was on a call or having lunch, and just say, "Thank you for your service, and I'm so sorry for your loss." But continuing even past the initial months, there's been a community group that goes out to the site where her life was taken, and they continue to replace the flowers and pick up anything that gets broken and make it look really nice.
What has helped the Corona family is their faith.
I read someplace a couple of days ago saying, God lends you, he's lending you your children. And I think I need to, as hard as it is having lost her and the way that we lost her, I have to be thankful that I had her for 22 years. And she was a great daughter, great sister. She set really good examples for her sisters. So I'm grateful that the Lord blessed us with her for that short amount of time.
In that time, they were given so many memories, so many stories, for a young woman who changed their lives and countless others.
3 X-ray 33, 1010, end of watch, January 10th, 2019, 1843.